4, 3, 2, 1. Today we're going to be looking at Psalm 6. We'll be looking at Psalm 6 this morning. Let's go ahead and read that. O Lord, rebuke me not in your anger, nor discipline me in your wrath. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am languishing. Heal me, O Lord, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled. But you, O Lord, how long? Turn, O Lord, deliver my life. Save me for the sake of your steadfast love. For in death there is no remembrance of you. In Sheol, who will give you praise? I am weary with my moaning. Every night I flood my bed with tears. I drench my couch with my weeping. My eye wastes away because of my grief. It grows weak because of all my foes. Depart from me, all you workers of evil, for the Lord has heard the sound of my weeping. The Lord has heard my plea. The Lord accepts my prayer. All my enemies shall be ashamed and greatly troubled. They shall turn back and be put to shame in a moment. I wanted to think about some of the language of this psalm really quickly. I think when we read something like this, we sometimes think to ourselves, there's no way I could say something like that. There's no way that I could verbalize this to God. And the reason is because some of the language that the psalmist uses here is kind of shocking. Verse 1, O Lord, rebuke me not in your anger, nor discipline me in your wrath. Verse 3, but you, O Lord, how long? Sometimes I think we have trouble asking the question, God, how long am I going to go through this? And I want to just make the point that I don't think David is demanding something of God here, saying, rescue me now or I'm not going to believe in you anymore, or rescue me now or I'm not going to serve you anymore. Rather, I think David's language here is the language of someone who has absolute faith and trust in the God that he serves. He can ask how long because he believes that God is going to do something about his situation one way or the other. And so I think just to encourage us, I think we need to think about our faith and trust in God, whether we can go to God and say, I believe that you're going to do something about this. When is this going to happen? I think we need to find that kind of belief and faith in God in our own lives.
Amen. Well, I want to really take an application from verses 8 and 9, where David at the end of this psalm writes, For the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord receives my prayer. I am just struck by the utter confidence, the utter conviction that he knows at the end of his psalm that the Lord hears his prayer, he hears his supplication, and he receives it. That confidence we might call faith. The confidence that God is always listening to his servants, the confidence that God will hear his prayer and will act in such a way that it's both in the best interest of David and his own glory. I'm reminded of a statement over in 1 John chapter 5. In verse 14, he says, This is the confidence which we have before him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us in whatever we ask, we know that we have the request with which we have asked from him. And I would just challenge us to hopefully that our confidence is so strong in our God, the God that loves us and redeems us, that when we lift up our prayers to him, we're confident that he hears them and he will act upon them. I think David is an example of that.
Amen. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. We hope that these help you in your walk with God. If you have any comments or questions about that, go ahead and put those in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and interact with you. We hope you all have a great weekend and God